Hey, Bodacious Beast, welcome back to my channel. My name is Scottyallenday. I talk about topics from the past, present, future, and unknown. Today we're talking about my YouTube video that I did yesterday, talking about evolution of a YouTube channel. We're talking about pipe dream, noob, and beginner stages. Now, the pipe dream stage is between 1 and 2,000, in my opinion, because you're just finding yourself out. You're hyped up about it, you're trying to get into it, you believe that you can be able to do it, you rush into it, you don't know what you're getting into, and then all of a sudden you disappear off the face of the earth. Basically, that's what a pipe dream is. All of a sudden you can say, well, I could do magic better than David Copperfield, and I'm going to go on to Penn and Teller and show them something that they've never seen before. And everything fails, and then you just drop it. It's true. So, basically, the pipe dream. It's a dream about being famous. It's a dream about being a high-paid athlete. It's a dream about this. That's basically all it is a dream. And YouTube is nothing but a dream, at least until about 2000. It doesn't stop being a dream until you get to what I call the beginner stage. So, once we get to the noob stage I would say would be about, in my opinion, 2,000 to about 50,000. It's easy enough. 2,000 to 50,000, you're learning what your channel is, what your channel's doing, how it's doing, where it's going. Wait a minute, did I say 50,000? I meant 200,000. So, 2,000 to 200,000. Sorry about that. But basically, the noob stage is you're trying to figure out how to walk, how to talk, what you're going to do on your channel, which way your channel is going to go, and the details of what your channel is going to do. So this one you're doing is you try to figure out your audience, you're trying to figure out your strengths, your weaknesses, and try and put everything together into something. You're getting paid. So, and this is a very crucial time because of the fact that once you get over that 100,000, and don't forget, you're a noob. You just started, you don't know anything about it. And a lot of people start getting entitled and getting canceled. So basically, the noob stage is you're trying to figure everything out that you're trying to do, trying to figure out your fashion. You're trying to lift your life up a little bit. And that's the most crucial part of it. So you're figuring out your channel, what your channel's going to do, maybe create different goals, write down what you plan on doing in the future, how you're planning on growing in the future, that sort of thing. So if you're going to be a theme park enthusiast and you're going to go and ride rides all the time, or you're going to go to little fairs and carnivals, or play Roller Coaster Tycoon, or whatever, just to appease your audience. Or you're going to go and you're going to set up a camera and do time lapses of a building going up, or it's just going to be a time-lapse channel. Well, you need to keep track and see what appeals to your audience. You're learning the algorithm. You're learning what keywords work, what keywords don't work. I mean, this is like you're just doing whatever you can to be able to get yourself noticed, which is the pipe dream. I'm in the pipe dream stage. I'm doing whatever I can to get me noticed, get myself comfortable with the camera, and that's pretty much what it's all about. Once you get into the noob stage, you're now starting to flow. Your words are getting better on camera. Your audience is starting to come. Your retention rate's getting a little bit higher. You're learning how to get people to watch your videos to the end, and that's really just the best part of it. All the way up until you get to about 900. About 99,900. 99,900. subscribers. Now you're starting to get all jacked up because you're about ready to hit that first finish line. And this is what's going to make you or break you. You're getting jacked up, you're getting ready to go over that first finish line. You're talking about what your future plans are. You pretty much have a general idea of which way you're going to go. But before you get to this first finish line, you need to look back. Actually, at about 75,000, you need to go and you need to look back at all of your social media. You need to go back and look through all of your videos. Every single piece of it. From 75,000 to that 99,900, you need to make sure that your entire life on social media is scrubbed clean. So once you cross that finish line, you're going to have those pipe dream haters and the noobs that don't get it, and they're going to be going in and playing private eye and trying to get you shut down. And that's how a lot of people get ended. Or trying to dig up enough dirt and do screen caps and that sort of thing and keep it in a folder. Because once you hit that second finish line, okay, if they're the first one, they can dig up all that dirt. They can bring their channel right out of the ground. I've seen it happen thousands of times. So right about 75,000, I would do it right at 50,000. I would go in and I would go through every single last thing that I'm doing, and I would make sure it's scrubbed free. If I'm using an alias to make a video, I want to make sure that everything is tied to that alias and my real name is not tied to anything on this platform. So that's the noob stage. Now you get to 99,900. You cross that finish line, you're 100,000. Now you are an influencer. Now this is where you have to be very careful not to be entitled, not to shove off fans. This is where you need to start making merchandise. This is the biggest failure that most people don't do. They don't get any merchandise out. You want that 100,000 subscriber celebration with silver play button and a silhouette of yourself or a cartoon character of yourself and plaster it on a t-shirt. Why? Because there's people out there that collect stuff like that. I think I have one of Mr. Beast's very first t-shirts that he had out on off of his platform in my closet somewhere. I have a signed PewDiePie shirt somewhere in my closet. Why? Because one of these days PewDiePie is going to probably retire and everybody's going to try and his merchandise is going to be worth something. So this tiny little investment, nothing big. But why I said 100,000 and you're still a noob to go to 200,000? Because that's like if you're turning 21. And that's like if you touched a bottle of alcohol for the first time. That is whether you make a choice of, because you're so drunk with fame at 100,000, are you going to get into a car and drive? Or are you going to take a step back? Are you going to make a couple videos so that you're not online for 3 weeks after you've done your celebrating? All you have to do is just post your videos and you take a long vacation and you settle yourself down. The only way it's going to happen. Now you end up at the beginner stage. The beginner stage is about 200,000, and I think I set it to about 500,000. Could have been a little bit more. I don't know. But 200,000 to 500,000 is reasonable. 750 is even more reasonable. Now you are a beginner. Now you're definitely trying to define your channel. You're definitely trying to make sure that your content is exactly what you want for that channel. If you want add-ins, you're going to lose some, but then you gain some. It's like it's adding a little bit more salt to your gourmet dish. Or a little bit more pepper. Makes it come out just right. This is where all of a sudden, if you're talking just about everything, and you look back and you say, okay, what's everybody doing here? You know what? I think I'm going to steer off. I'm going to talk about cars, and I'm going to talk about life. I'm going to talk about cars, and I'm going to talk about my time in college. I'm going to talk about boats, and I'm going to talk about fishing. Goes hand in hand. I'm going to talk about magic tricks and mathematics. It's all of the spices that's going to be added to your channel. You could very often you're going to talk a couple times. You're going to sit down and say, wine with Joni, and then the next day you're going to do a cooking segment, showing off some really good, solid recipes. That's pretty much what it's all about. After that, you go to intermediate. Once you get to 5 million, you're advanced. Nobody can tell you what to do. You know what you're doing. But it's very crucial that you don't get hyped up until you at least hit that million mark. But then once you hit that million mark, you do it again. You go out and you run through that hype, and then all of a sudden you're blowing everything right out the door. But this is where a lot of people get writer's block. They're not planning their channel as they go. They're not planning their channel as they grow. So you could be able to do a whole year segment and talk about and do a whole bunch of travel in the US. And then after that first year, you're really tired of traveling. So you try to do something else and then you don't know what to talk about. Or you're a gaming channel and then you play all kinds of different games. And all of a sudden, gaming isn't fun anymore. So, this is what I'm trying to talk about. This is what I'm trying to explain. Never stop planning ahead for the channel that you're making. That's what happened with my first channel. Because I made it all the way up until, I think, VidCon. And all of a sudden, I didn't know what to talk about. But one guy at VidCon said, never leave home with a notebook. Don't use a cell phone. Things get lost in computers. A notebook, you turn the page and there it is. Many comedians have post-it notes and notebooks right next in every nook and cranny of the house. When was the last time that you sat down on a family throne and you had a great idea? Say, you know what, I should film that. You know what, I should do that. I should go there. And then you go out and then all of a sudden somebody says something to you and then you get distracted and guess what? Video never gets made. So take that as one tip, and I've learned that from hundreds of comedians, hundreds of writers, hundreds of authors, that they have a tablet somewhere, everywhere in the house. And if it's that important and they have a good enough idea, they're going to write it down. Right then, right there, no excuses. Tom Hanks said he came up with one of his best jokes. No, actually, it wasn't Tom Hanks. It was Jeff Foxworthy. And he literally dreamt one of his jokes. Opened up his eyes, giggled about it, turned on the nightlight, and wrote it down on the tablet. Turned the light off, went back to sleep. The next day, he went on about his business. He said, I totally forgot about the joke that I wrote on that tablet. He went back to his nightstand to go and get something, and he noticed the joke that he wrote the next night. So it's important, if you're going to be an influencer, if you're going to be a YouTuber, if you're going to be a vlogger, keep something nearby. That's about all I got to talk about today. This is my first really long video. I think I went in loops a little bit, so I'm going to have to watch it back. But let me know what you guys think. Like my channel, subscribe to my channel, tell your friends about my channel, hit that notification bell. Till next time, keep on rocking.